Good morning, my magnificent ones. Sue Paulson here, your magnificence mentor. And we're back with another episode of Tea with Sue. It's Black Friday today. There are a frenzy of advertisements about the hottest deals, the latest deals, the coolest things you could ever imagine buying. Well, it's a big day. I'm not going near the stores today because I'm at the stage of life where I'm more of a replacement person. I'm not really a consumer as such because there's not a lot of things I need in my life. So if something breaks down, then I'll replace it if I feel it has value to me. So today it caused me to wonder with all of this. My understanding about Black Friday is that today is the day in the calendar year where retailers move from either a not a profitable position or a break-even position because they're going into a heavier buying time right to the end of the year with Christmas and all the other holidays coming up. So of course, this is where they make their profits. This is where they go beyond the expenses of the year and the taxes of the year, and they move into a profit position, or that's the hope anyway. Now, of course, for consumers, I suspect it might be the absolute opposite, because of course, in this quest for the best deal and the biggest and the best and the brightest, I am imagining that an awful lot of people go into debt. So while the retailers go into the black, consumers go into the red. Reality hits in January when the credit card bills come in and they go, oh, now what? Okay, beans for the rest of the year, however that works. I know, I've been there, done that. I just don't do that anymore. Not because I don't really have not just because I don't have the fat wallet to do that, but I've recognized that sometimes we can get to the point where our possessions possess us. We get to the point where we bought something on a whim or to make us feel better or to have the glory of snapping up the coolest bargain ever or whatever, only to get it home and realize, oh, now what? First of all, where am I going to put it? Because I have too much stuff as it is. Secondly, is it as useful as I thought it was going to be? Well, I've wasted lots of money on things that I was sure were going to do exactly what they promised, only to be disappointed at the end of the day. Or I couldn't figure out how to work it, or I didn't have the right technology to connect this to this to this. And you know what I'm talking about, because I'm sure you've experienced what I have. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you today is the concept of looking at the value of what you have in your life. So before you spend one thin dime on anything, to step back and think about how valuable is that going to be in my life, or how useful is it going to be? I like the idea of form married with function. So if something is very functional to me, it's useful to me, and it's pretty, or it has a certain look about it, then it hits both bases for me, and I'm happy. Sometimes I don't care about how it looks. It's just, if it's useful. I mean, a garbage can is a garbage can. My kitchen garbage sits under the sink. It doesn't have to be shiny chrome with exotic trim or anything like that, because I'm putting a bag in it. And it's just an ordinary plastic tub that actually I think a friend passed along to me, so I didn't even have to pay any money for it. So, but it's useful, and I value it every day because it's a place to, it's a container for what I'm eventually going to throw away. So let me share with you 3 different things that I have in my life right now. And I want to talk about the value of them. All right. So number 1. Okay, well, everybody knows the value of a bowl, all right, for cereal or ice cream or whatever else. It's not the bowl I want to talk about. It's this little cover that's underneath the bowl. So some of you may have one of these in your home, and if you do, maybe you value it as much as I do. Well, what this little cover is, I don't even know the name of it, but it's a little bit like a pot holder for your dishes. Well, what you do is put your container inside this little cushioned cover, set it in your microwave. Well, of course, you heat up whatever food's inside your bowl or your dish. But then, of course, you can grab the corners of it and easily lift it out of your microwave without burning your fingers. I don't know if you've ever struggled with pot holders when something's hot in the microwave, and it's clumsy to get out of there, but this just lifts up so easily. And then, of course, if you eat in front of the TV, which I confess I do more often than not, I can set it in my lap and I don't get burns on through my clothes because there's enough padding in here that it cushions it and it reflects the heat away. Now this one happens to be reversible, so it's got kind of a cute little design on this side, or it's plain on this side. I think I paid $10 for this. I use it every day. It has been such a great thing for me to have spent money on. I also bless whoever invented it, whoever figured out how to make it so that it just cups things so nicely. So thank you, whoever invented those, and thank you for the sewing abilities of the women that I bought these from, not only for myself, but as gifts. I had a girlfriend phone in and says, "What was this for again?" So then I told her. So useful, practical, it has value in my life. So I don't mind finding a place for it on my counter. Now, on the other hand, once upon a time, I bought this package of connectors. They connect my keyboard, which you see behind me, all covered up, to a computer. So if I want to create music, sheet music, and so on through my computer while I'm playing on the keyboard, it will do that. So I plunk around on my keyboard now and again when I feel inspired and just want to hear some music that I'm playing. And I've had this idea that, well, some of these songs that I've created, it would be so handy to be able to just have it transform into sheet music on my computer, and then I could print it out, which of course with these connectors, it gives me the ability to do that. There's a problem though. You'll notice that it's still in its original packing. And I've had it for a while because it says on it, it says, now ready for Windows 8. Well, we're far beyond Windows 8. So I don't even know if this is going to work anymore. But I wanted it. And I think it cost me, I don't know, $50. I thought, oh, well, $50, you know, I've blown $50 before. But where is it sitting? It's sitting in my bag of cords in my closet because I don't really know how to hook it up. I don't really know what to do after that. And somehow the learning curve just feels quite daunting. I haven't had the heart to throw it away or give it away or recycle it or whatever, because there's still a little piece of me says, well, you know, that might be useful one of these days. Maybe somebody will help me hook that up at some point. Well, we'll see. So far, I haven't got rid of it yet. But that's an example of a possession that's kind of possessed me. I regret spending the money because I haven't done anything with it yet. And yet I can't bring myself to let it go. So it collects dust in a corner. And if I'm digging for a useful cord in my bag, then I have to set it somewhere and you know how that goes. So there's 2. Here's number 3. So this is a cross stitch picture that my son did in probably grade, if memory serves, maybe grade 1. This was a project that all the kids were doing some kind of a project for Mother's Day, or maybe it was for Christmas. I don't even actually remember. So there were 2 pieces to it. So it's, you can kind of see the line down the middle here. So my dear child learned how to do this cross stitch and worked diligently to create these 2 bears with the heart in the middle, and then gave it to me as a gift. Well, what mother isn't touched by something her child creates, whether it's out of, I still have the popsicle stick little jewelry box he made for me as well. Well, I was so touched, and I thought, well, you know, I want to display that. Now, how am I going to do that? So I took it to a framer who knew how to mat it and put it together in such a way that it would be a precious keepsake for me. So this is one of those things in my life. It's on my wall, and it's precious to me. It's very, very precious to me. Not only for what it is, but the fact that my dear son made it for me. So there, it's priceless. There's no value. Nobody could pay me enough money to take that away from me, because it's precious to me. And so there'll be a point in time when I'll be able to pass it along to my granddaughters and say, your daddy made this for me. So isn't it interesting how what we have in our lives can have such an impact, either a very positive impact, or can have a negative impact, or, you know, somewhere in between. My preference these days is to surround myself by things that bring me joy, things that bring a smile to my face, or a sense of gratitude, or a feeling of just being cherished, rather than, and of course there's the utilitarian things that we need. I mean, I need 2 or 3 pairs of mitts and gloves for winter here. I need winter boots. I need I need a fan in the summertime when it's too hot. All of these kinds of things are just what we can use to make our lives better. And of course, there are plenty of people in our lives that don't have even a tenth of what I know I have. So I already know that I am extremely blessed, and I have far more than I probably could get by with. So yay, I'm thrilled about that, and I'm very appreciative of that. I also want to be mindful of the fact that if it all went away, what's left? You know, if something drastic happened and I had none of these things, then what would my life be like? Well, my life would be my life, and I would still have the precious memories of all of those things that I had. Yeah, one time I had you know, I can remember this outfit that I bought for myself in my 20s, and I love that outfit. It just, well, I haven't had it for 50 years. But do I still remember it? Yes. And I remember the feeling that I got when I put it on. So maybe it's time for all of us to allow the memories of what was good about things that we've owned to replace the things. So maybe you have lots of things in your closet that you don't really care about. Yeah, I have 153 t-shirts, and quite a few of them maybe have holes in them and da da da. Well, maybe it's time to pare them down to the top 10 that you absolutely love. Every time you put them on, they make you feel good. Maybe it's time to say, oh, I don't need 25 pairs of pants. I could get by with like half a dozen would be, or a fresh pair for every day of the week. 7 pairs, that's good. 3 pairs of jeans and some dress pants, and I have a week's worth. Good enough. Well, then you don't have so many things to look after. You don't have so many things to make decisions about. And I loved it when there was only 2 kinds of peanut butter. You could get crunchy or you could get smooth. That was it. Well, now you go and stand in front of the peanut butter aisle, and there's 27 different possibilities there with different price points and different recommendations, you know, different sale points on the label. And maybe you waste 5 or 7 precious minutes trying to decide, especially if your favorite brand isn't there on the shelf. Then you go, oh, now what? They're possessed by our possessions, right? By placing such value on what we spend our money on, or thoughtlessly blow our money on all kinds of things. When is that really what's the most important thing in your life? So for this Christmas, if you're in the mood and you have the wherewithal, I recommend that if you're going to shop for Black Friday, you only shop as much as you have the cash in hand for, and it's not the rent money, right? It's that 65-inch big screen TV isn't going to add maybe that much more value to your life than the 40-inch or 45-inch that you currently have, unless that one's broken. Well, how badly do you need that monstrous thing to haul home? Anyway, that's my opinion. And if it brings you that much joy, then go for it. It's just, what about after? Does it become an encumbrance in your life so that you're not free to do the very things that you would like to do, like take your kids out for ice cream or have an experience somewhere that would bring a big smile to everyone's faces? Just think about that in the way that you use the resources that you have. What is it that gives you the most value? That's where I'm coming from. You know, you can do this. You know, you can be a little more thoughtful about how you engage with what's in front of you, because you're magnificent enough to do that. So this week, think twice about, nothing wrong with shopping. I do lots of shopping from time to time, but I don't always buy. There's the trick, is I don't always spend my money. I look and say, well, that's nice, but how badly do I really want it? Or I try it on, and if it just looks okay, it doesn't look spectacular, I'm going, no, I'm not buying that. I don't care if it's only $7. I don't want it badly enough to even spend $7 on it. So it's about assessing your priorities. It's about assessing what is it that brings value into your life. And if there are things in your life that are not only not bringing value in, but they're taking away from the quality of your life, then get rid of them. Just haul them off, to give them to somebody else who would appreciate it, or take it to a depot where they resell stuff, or do whatever. But declutter, get it out of your life and say, no, I need room and I need space to breathe. And when we make that space, you might be surprised at what other cool things that are far better come into your life. If you're enjoying Tea with Sue, this is episode number 99. You can always find more episodes on my YouTube channel. You can also download my free app, The Magnificence Mentor, where I have I'm starting to put the audio transcripts of this video series onto the app as well, so that if you're out for a walk and you want to put headphones on, then you can listen to the audio version of this this video. So that's there, free download from either Google Play or iTunes Store, and I really encourage you to sign up as a member so that you get all the member content as well. It's free to be a member too. In the meantime, take good care, my friends. Enjoy Black Friday. I hope you had plenty of celebrating for American Thanksgiving yesterday. We'll see you next week.